When I was about 16 to 17 years old, I had a sugar addiction. Like, I'm telling you guys, my diet was so poor. Like, I used to binge eat all the time on donuts, cookies. I used to love like chocolate cookies. I used to have like loads of sweets. Like, after school, I would literally go to the corner shop, and you know, when they in the UK they sell like 3 packs of like sweets for like £1 or something, and they're like 30p 39p each or something. And I used to like buy like 10 different packs, bring them home, and like literally just binge eat them whilst watching YouTube. And yeah, I at night, my parents, they would literally hide food from the shelves because I would literally just like eat and finish all the packages, all the chocolate cookies in literally one night. Like, I'm telling you guys, it was very bad. Like, I literally just couldn't stop eating. I was just binge eating on sugar all the time. I would have donuts after school as well. In the middle of the night, like, I would literally wake up at like 2-3 in the morning, and I would be so hungry that I would go downstairs, open some of the chocolate biscuits, like eat them. So then the next night, when my parents would buy them again, they would literally hide them in the room because they were scared I was going to eat them again. You know what I mean? It was like, I've heard friends having like saying that, oh yeah, I've had like eating problems, blah blah, but like someone with a sugar addiction like mine, you probably relate. If you're watching this video, that's probably where you clicked. But yeah, it was very bad. Now, I'm 22 years old now, and I don't remember the last time I've had a cheat meal which included sugar. Like, I don't remember last time I was binge eating on like sweets or like biscuits. Also, first of all, because I've been on a cut now for the last 3 weeks, but 3 weeks is not even a long time. But I'm talking about like for the last year, I do not remember a single time where I was like binge eating on sweets or biscuits. Like, yeah, sure, this last couple of years I have had a donut, I have had ice creams and everything, but I never, but because I wanted to, you know what I mean? Not because my body was like, oh my god, I need the sugar, let me just like go and binge eat on something. Never because of that. And in this video, I want to tell you how I was able to beat my sugar addiction. Also because, guys, first of all, before I even tell you how I did it, guys, sugar, like, and binge eating especially on like these sweets and cookies, it made me the worst physique I've ever had in my life. Like, when I was like 17, I literally had a worst, no, when I was like 16, I've had a worse physique compared to when I was 11 years old. Like, seriously, it was that bad. And surely it should be the opposite, right? Because by 16, I would have hit puberty. I would have, like, you know, maybe gained a little bit of muscles compared to 11. But when I was like 15, 16, 17, that's where my sugar addiction was at its peak. Like, I was literally like a fucking maniac, seriously. Like, and yeah, it made my physique terrible because I was literally very skinny because I didn't go to the gym at that point. And so I had like no muscle mass on, but I was also kind of fat because my belly was like sticking out. I literally had fucking belly rolls, and you wouldn't really guess a skinny guy would have belly rolls, but so I literally had the skinny fat physique. That's what like this physique is called, is when you're very skinny, so you're like this, but then you have like a fucking belly, and it doesn't really make sense because you're either skinny or fat. Well, no, mate, I was literally both at the same time, which is not a very nice look. Of course, I didn't really get any attraction from girls back then because of my physique. And also the sugar, it didn't just have like an impact on my actual body, but my face as well. Like, I've literally, like, I never really had a puffy face before, but when I was like 15, 16, 17, I remember, like, I'll pull up some pictures, like, my face always been like a little bit bloated, always been like a little bit puffy, you know what I mean? And it was literally because I was just eating way too much unprocessed sugary food. And also, I didn't really have, like, not just my face changed, not just my body was, I was changing, but also like my concentration level. Like, sugar, literally, like, you always have like these sugar spikes, you know what I mean? Like, you have sugar and then you have like so much energy, and then you have like a little crash, and then so much energy again because you have sugar. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel healthy. I couldn't even sit down and like read a book for like 2 minutes. I'm not joking. At the time, it was a problem because I was going to school and I needed to focus in school if I wanted to have good grades, but I didn't because I really believe it was because the sugar made me have literally ADHD. Like, because right now I'm fine. Like, right now I can literally sit down and even read for hours without stopping. I can record a video and talk to you guys for literally hours without even stopping. And it's really because I fixed my diet. So diet is not just for your physical health, but also for your mental health as well. And in this video, I want to tell you how I was able to reduce my sugar intake and how I was able to literally cut and completely break this sugar addiction, which, bro, let me tell you something, it can get back, but we'll get into the video. You need to understand that the reason why you're always hungry is because you eat too much sugar, okay? So basically what sugar does is it blocks a hormone called leptin. So basically when you're hungry, leptin, so this hormone, it signals the brain and it tells it that, okay, your body's hungry, you need to eat, okay? So the brain listens to it, and what you do, you go and eat your food. When you are full, so after you ate, leptin, it tells the brain that you are full, okay? It literally tells the brain, okay, I've done, I'm not hungry anymore, that's it, go do something else, stop eating. Basically, when you become leptin, when you have too much sugar, so your insulin level increases, this blocks leptin. Okay, sugar blocks leptin, which is the hormone which tells your brain that you're full. So what do? You keep eating. This is why you binge eat, okay? Because you became leptin resistant. Your brain, it doesn't accept the signal from leptin anymore, telling it that you're full. So you just keep eating and eating and eating until you become a fat fuck. But yeah, this is true. So every time like you eat sugar, like this hormone, it completely, like your brain completely ignores leptin, which means that your brain never knows now when you're full or not. So you just keep eating and eating and eating. And this is super dangerous. And guys, this is super dangerous. So one thing which I recommend you guys is, if you want to take this shit seriously, do as much research as you possibly can on sugar and like sugar addiction and all of this stuff, because it will scare you off. So one book that I would recommend you guys read is Fat Chance. I really would recommend that book. And because it just goes in detail and it tells you exactly how dangerous sugar is, okay? And it basically tells you essentially that sugar is basically the reason why the majority of the population nowadays is obese. And that should tell you a lot. And if that shit doesn't scare you to stop eating sugar, I don't know what does. This is why, and this is like the point of the video, this is why before, when I was like 15, 16, 17, I was always hungry. I was always hungry because I became leptin resistant, because my brain wouldn't listen to leptin anymore, which meant that I never knew when I was actually full, and I just kept eating and eating and eating and eating. And guys, guess what? Guess how I decreased my appetite tenfold in the last couple of years? By cutting out sugar. If you want to lose weight, the number one thing that you need to completely like dissociate yourself from is sugar, because sugar will increase your appetite more and more and more. This is why you always find yourself like binge eating on like sweets or like donuts or basically like sugary food, is because your brain, like, you became leptin resistant. Your brain doesn't know when you're full now, and you just like keep eating and eating and eating. And this is very dangerous. So if you're on a cut, especially if you want to lose weight, the number one ingredient that you need to completely remove from your diet is sugar, because guys, sugar is an addiction. Sugar is an addiction, is so bad for you, and especially like the processed sugar that you find in like sweets, that you find in like cookies, that you find in like caramel donuts, in ice cream. Like it's so bad for you. You should instead replace that sugar that you get from like all this unprocessed food from the sugar that you get from fruit, for example, because fruit contains fiber, okay, and that is so much better and more natural type of sugar, instead of like eating sugar from like sweets and shit. But mostly because it contains fiber, okay? I hope you understand why sugar makes you eat so much all the time, and why you're never full when you have, for example, ice cream. Because you have one ice cream, then you want to have another one. You have one sweet, and straight after you want to have another one. That's called binge eating, and binge eating leads to obesity. Binge eating is literally leads you not just like physically, but also mentally, bro. Like you're literally fucking up your dopamine levels as well. And no wonder why you cannot sit down and read a book. No wonder why you can't sit down and do your homework, because your dopamine levels are literally so fried because of the sugar. So sugar is bad for your body, but it's also bad for your brain. And this is essentially how I lowered my appetite in this last year, and how I was able to lose that belly fat that I had before, and how I was able to actually, you know, like gain muscle mass and actually look attractive in my face and also my body, because of the sugar. Because the sugar before, it just I was just keep eating and eating and eating all the time, which made me have a big belly. Seriously, I literally had fat rolls and I was skinny, which doesn't really make sense, but this is what sugar does to you. And yeah, this is essentially what I wanted to say in this video. So yeah, one thing that I did this year is I really went all in and, like, you know, and studied the sugar, you know what I mean? And I studied how to cut out sugar. What is sugar? Why is it so bad for us? And as I said, guys, read a book called Fat Chance by Dr. Lustig. And yeah, this is because, trust me, it will scare you. Like, I remember, like, when I was reading the book, and as I was reading it, I was literally like, okay, I need to completely change my eating habits. Because I can't keep going like this. And many people say, oh yeah, you need to, like, slowly progressive, like, cut out the sugar. For me, it was literally boom, like this, like night and day. I literally decided to, you know, eat healthy, and like and you feel so much better as well. Look how, like, clean my skin is. I literally, it's not because I put, like, so many, like, unknown chemicals in my face, like so many products in my face. Like, so many people nowadays online are trying to sell you, like, so many different creams that you can get, but all they want to do, guys, these guys literally want to scam you. They want to take your money. Fuck all of that. Just drink some more water, go into the sun, because the sun is good for your skin, but also, most importantly, cut out the sugar.